Oh, hello, Internet! It's your old beard buddy Jed, and I'm here to talk about E3 2014 and my prediction, because I just want to get them out there so I can be right and be like, I told you so. I got them. And you didn't, because I'm better than you. That's what this is all about. Anywho, we'll just start off. We'll just go down the list here. So, Microsoft. They're going to show Halo 5. That's a known thing. It's going to be like an in-engine cutscene is what I'm thinking. No, like, real gameplay. More like in-engine, showing you, like, what they're shooting for. And they'll also announce a Halo 5 beta. And then they're also going to announce a Halo 2 anniversary for Xbox One. Which is going to be part of another announcement where they announce Halo Collection, which is going to be 1 through 4 on Xbox One. And the versions in the collection I'm predicting will be the original Halo CE, but the anniversary edition, just ported to, slightly better resolution than run on Xbox One, and then the new Halo 2 anniversary edition, and then just basically up converted 3 and 4. And an exclusive access to the Halo 5 beta if you buy that. And I'm also predicting that the multiplayer, instead of them porting all the multiplayer, they're going to make their own, new multiplayer. Either it's going to be the Halo 5 multiplayer, that's going to basically be what it runs on, hence the reason the beta is included with it, or it's just not going to be that. It's going to be like Halo 4's multiplayer with just the best of the maps. Because I really doubt that they're going to be like, you know what, let's port Halo 2's multiplayer and Halo 1's and Halo 3's and Halo 4's. That's what people want them to do, and while Microsoft has been listening, I don't think it's realistic for them to actually do that. What else do we have? Oh, hey, PC Zach and Arch Angelian in the chat. Just going through my list here, chit-chatting about what I think is going to happen at E3. So we went over the Halo stuff. They're going to talk a lot about Halo. I feel like that's their cash cow right now. And I mean, it's always kind of been their cash cow. It's kind of like their main IP. And I know that they're trying to stay away from the word TV this time. So, as Phil Spencer's been saying, games, games, games. So I don't think that you'll hear the word television or TV at all. I think they're going to avoid it at all costs. But they will introduce at least one original series coming to Xbox. They might show a clip or a trailer of the Halo series. And I think that one of the series that they're going to show is going to involve Zelda Williams. Just because she tweeted about she's going to E3 and everyone was like, oh, it's for a Zelda thing. And she's like, it's not for what you think. So that's my prediction, because she's been in a lot of geeky movies and things as of late. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of Xbox exclusive live action series that she's involved in. And of course, Forza Horizon 2, they're going to show in-game footage. And same thing with Sunset Overdrive, that's known. Titanfall download content is another one that I think they'll announce there exclusively. And then probably just some HD versions of popular last-gen games. I fully expect during this E3 that GTA 5 will finally be announced for PC and next-gen consoles. It's been a long time coming. There's references to stuff in the game code when it came out originally, and everyone seems to have forgotten about it or not cared. Let's see. Chat says, any lame Kinect demos? I don't think so. I think they might almost be abandoning the Kinect. If anything, they're going to show Disney's Fantasia by Harmonix, and that's probably it. I don't know of any other Kinect games coming out. And it doesn't really seem like Microsoft's leading the way with Kinect. Same thing that they did last time. They just had you know what, we'll just rely on everyone else, and it's just not working out. Clearly with them pulling Kinect out and, making it $3.99, they're going to focus less on that. Yeah, I agree. All the stuff that's gonna be hyped is it's gonna be a lot of snake oil, as it is every year. It's gonna be like CG trailers or unrealistic trailers that the games end up changing, but they gotta have that pre-order money, and then they all say, well, they're gonna be out in October or November, and then they end up delaying them because they gotta get more pre-orders and gotta get more hype. So that's something that's probably gonna happen all around. And let's see, that's all I have for Microsoft, so let's move on to Sony. Sony, they have that exclusive title by the team that made Dark Souls that they're going to be showing off that looks very Dark Souls-ish. That's been leaked. It's known that there's going to be a Killzone co-op expansion that they're going to show that's from, what was the last shitty Killzone? Whatever it was called. I absolutely hated that game. They've already talked about that. Everyone knows or assumes, or seems to almost be confirmed that there's going to be an Uncharted 4 teaser, which the rumor is going to be like mind-blowing graphics. Like, people are just going to like commit suicide in the audience because they can't believe what they're looking at. Which, I don't really care for Uncharted. I mean, I've never really played it that much, so it's not like I don't like it. It's just something that's never interested me. But, yeah, definitely want to see some awesome graphics. The Vita, they're barely going to mention it. If anything is going to be like last year, they're going to treat it completely like a controller with a screen on it for the PS4. That's what they're going to stress a lot of. And I think the only thing you're going to see coming on the Vita is going to be cross-play games that are basically like mobile games or ports. You're not going to see like any big first-party titles. I think Sony's basically abandoned it. Yeah, there is going to be a lot of Naughty Dog for sure. I think, man, there's rumors that they're working on another title, I think. It would be awesome if they did Crash Bandicoot. There's so much like rumors and like wanting Crash Bandicoot. But I don't know that it's going to happen this year. I don't know that they'll mention it. It would be great. I want Crash Bandicoot back back in the heyday even. Even if they did like HD remakes of the original trilogy, I would probably be happy with that. But I mean, everything after that was pretty much not good other than like the racing game and maybe the party game. They're going to focus a lot on indie games. I've already said that, I think, at least for Vita. A lot of stuff that they're going to show for PS4. There's a lot of trailers they've already put up that are E3 trailers on their YouTube for some indie games. And a lot of them look very much like mobile games, which I really hope the trend of like mobile games being ported to consoles doesn't take over like it has on Steam. Because if you go on Steam, you can just like find shit tons of mobile games that have been ported from like iPad and stuff to Steam. What else? More about Drive Club, and apparently there's this game called The Golf Club. I found out by looking at Sony's or PlayStation's YouTube channel, which I guess is like the Drive Club only for golf. I'm sure they'll talk about that there. The rumors are going around that there's going to be a lot of ports, HD versions for PS4 and Vita, like trilogy collections for the Vita have been coming out pretty frequently. So expect to see that. I don't know what games I would think of to port to PS4. Maybe Drakengard 3. It wouldn't be shocking to me how shitty it runs on PS3. That they had, like that's not the main version, that's like a downgrade version, but we'll see. Obviously, we're going to get a release date for The Last of Us, which apparently is going to be in October. People were like losing their minds thinking it was going to be this week, in which I was hoping because there's not shit to play until like October at this point. And like there was the leaked thing from Game in the UK, and apparently like earlier today there was a leak on Eurogamer where it said like PlayStation 4 conference, and it was like an advertisement, and it had the release date as October 10th for The Last of Us, which is pretty disappointing. And we'll get back to October here in a minute because there's shit that annoys me there. Where was I on my list of things I wanted to kaboot? I really hope that Sony takes advantage of the popularity of their streaming and how people have used the Playroom and make like some kind of better streaming app to just let people like stream and talk or do whatever, like talk shows and things that have happened. Because I really would like to see them like embrace that and try to give people like a better thing to do it with. Because the Playroom, while it works, it's not ideal. There's always music playing. There's always stuff like that. Sony Blink Club things, are they going to be a thing? Asks chat. I don't know. I feel like they are, and I feel like they might lean towards free to play. That way they can like nickel and dime you, or as defenders of microtransactions say, give you options. And let's see. They're going to be the lead counsel for Battlefield Hardline. I think EA is going to kind of like get nice with Sony on that field. They probably are still going to have exclusive download content on the Xbox One. We'll see. Because I think last time Battlefield was announced during Sony's press conference, and then still exclusive stuff came to Microsoft, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, definitely Project Morpheus is going to be shown off. And it looks like there's a leaked horror game that nobody really knows the for sure title that's going to be shown. That looks to be for Project Morpheus, which looks awesome. It looks like some like Aliens type stuff, like the movie Alien, like the design and everything. I think his name's Geiger, is the guy who designed it, very like in that style. Where you play, from what the things that are leaked, it looks like you play as like this alien looking character and you're using Morpheus somehow, but there's no real details on it because it's like a very early leak. But I think that might be like one of their lead titles for Morpheus. I think they're going to push Morpheus a lot, which I didn't think they would do when they announced it because, you know, there's no real competition, but I almost feel like they want to beat Oculus to the market, which I think would be a great idea because then it would, you know, Oculus, everyone knows of it, but the basic consumer base doesn't really know it. And let's see. There's a rumored sequel to PlayStation All-Stars picture going around that's like a blurry GIF in one blurry picture. That's like PlayStation All-Stars Round 2, and it has a little character, which I don't know his name because I don't know Final Fantasy, popping up from Final Fantasy when it like finishes the logo. I think that's totally fake because the first game didn't sell well. The studio that they made it with, they broke all ties with. So they would have to have a new studio, and they would have to be taking a risk on continuing it. Then, on the other hand, I think that it could be intelligent to make it to compete with Smash Brothers, because there's really no other game like Smash Brothers. And the only issue I ever had with PlayStation All-Stars is it just wasn't balanced. Like, I love Parappa the Rapper, and you know his final, whatever you want to call it, his final move could only get 3 kills maximum versus like the Killzone dude could get like 5. And since it was all about kills, you know, it wasn't really balanced in my opinion.
There's a couple of free or indie games that are coming out that are Smash-like.
Yeah, there's a lot of indie games coming out that are Smash-like. That's a good point. Let's see. Yeah, Project Morpheus. I don't know if Sony will keep that name. I doubt they will, but I do like it. I think Xbox is kind of stuck with Project Spark as like that's the name of the thing now. If anything, they might drop the word project and just call it Spark, but I doubt it at this point. So that's all I have for Sony. If anyone in the chat has any guesses or suggestions or wants to talk about that, let me know. And then on to Nintendo. Good old mysterious Nintendo. So we'll get the like obvious ones out of the way. So more characters for Smash, more Smash shown. Gameplay's getting to be shown for the first time since they're doing like the open tournament and stuff there. I think they're going to add a Fire Emblem character from one of the more recent Fire Emblem games. And then just other classic characters that we all know that haven't been announced yet, which I think like Ice Climbers and like one of the Earthbound characters. All hell might freeze over, and maybe they'll announce like Earthbound 2 or Mother 3 for America, but I highly doubt it. I think they're going to show a lot of virtual console stuff, or I'm hoping they will. I think everyone's hoping that they'll show a lot of virtual console stuff, but I don't know. Nintendo doesn't seem to like grasp it. With them bringing out the GameCube controller adapter, people seem to think that they're going to do like GameCube backwards compatibility or GameCube virtual console titles. I don't know that that's a thing that will happen because currently the virtual console is a joke on the Wii U. There's not even an N64 game out last time I looked, which is, I think sad. Going back to Smash, NFC figurines are like confirmed for the Smash for Wii U. And I honestly think that's the reason that it's delayed, because they wanted to get the NFC figurines out with it. That and, they have to build the little pad for the 3DS versus the Wii U gamepad actually has it built in already on the left there. If you have one, there's a little square there, and that's where the NFC can be read at. And as far as the figurine goes, I'm hoping they're not download content characters, because if you've ever played or seen Skylanders, it's like $13 per figurine, which is insane to me that anyone would pay that, especially when there's like tens of figurines. I mean, that's really like nickel and diming you to the extreme, in my opinion.
Speaking of which, Jelly was talking about Project Spark. Well, there's just so many microtransactions in it.
Yeah, Project Spark had a ton of microtransactions, and they removed a lot of them eventually, but it's still like too little too late in my opinion. That, and when your whole project is based on users creating things and then you restrict their creation with like microtransactions, it's kind of shitty. It kind of defeats the purpose. Like, no one's gonna be like, I'm gonna pay you to make your game. Like, that's like when people claim gaming videos on YouTube. They're like, we want free advertising and your revenue. Like, no, that's not how things work in real life. So yeah. Another thing that back to the NFC figurines. I hope that it's something else. Like, I guess there's rumors of like Smash Brothers having like custom movesets that you can create or save per character, and maybe you save them to your figurine, then you can take them like to your friends or tournaments, and that would be awesome. And I think that's what they should do. They should just be like, here's a set of characters, and you don't have to buy all of them. You just have to buy whichever one you want, because it doesn't unlock anything. It just allows you to like save your stats to it if you want to take it to like a friend's house or tournaments or whatever. And that's what a lot of people want. That would be cool. I mean, I would like to see more Nintendo like action figures and stuff like that in general, because they really don't do a lot of it, and they should, because people would buy it. Like, they have the Nintendo World Store, but they don't sell any of that stuff online, so you have to go there to get it. I'll buy everything Kirby. I'll buy a Kirby couch for like $1 million. I want everything Kirby. So speaking of Kirby, he had this game called Epic Yarn, and I don't know if you guys remember. They showed a Yoshi Yarn game for like 30 seconds, and they haven't said shit about it since. They're either going to show it or they're going to announce that it's canceled. I mean, they won't announce it at E3, but I think that they're going to show it, because I mean, it would be an easy sell. They might not feel so great after the last Yoshi game that came out on 3DS. It didn't do so well. I didn't even pick it up. People say it's boring, and it just, like, the music alone made me not want to pick it up, because it just sounded like an awful version of the original music from the game. What else do I have on my list? Chat's blowing up tonight. Hello, everyone in chat. Let's see. Download content. Nintendo has been pretty good about download content recently, at least on the Wii U, in my opinion. Like, Pikmin 3 had a lot of awesome download content that didn't really get publicized a lot by the media, but it was some good stuff. I mean, they even added a feature where you can like flick Pikmin out on the gamepad, sort of like you could in Nintendo Land, like last week. And the game's been out for a while, but I think something that a lot of people aren't considering is their recent games, their big recent games. I think that they're going to release some download content for. Super Mario 3D World, I think they're either going to announce a sequel or release a download content expansion for it. Because everyone's screaming like, they're going to, release like Super Mario Sunshine HD or another Galaxy, and I don't think that's going to be what gets announced this year, because they have this engine. They're not going to just use it once, you know? I mean, Super Mario 3D World was awesome, so I'm assuming they're just going to make a sequel or something that at least runs on that. But I would think that it would be more of a sequel than anything. And maybe they'll announce some download content for like the newest Donkey Kong, maybe Animal Crossing or Mario Kart 8. It might be too soon for them to announce Mario Kart 8 download content. Nintendo's been kind of good about not saying anything about download content until like, you know, months in. So we'll see how that turns out. Mario Maker has been leaked. There's been a picture that looks pretty real to me, which is going to be a Mario, like a classic Mario creation game that is either on Wii U or 3DS or both. Because the picture that's leaked is like them using a stylus to move like Mario characters and pieces around, and it looks like the classic Mario. People are hoping that it's like all the 2D Marios, so you can like mix and match or do different levels for different games, which would be a pretty big deal. As it is known that there's going to be like some discussion about a 3DS game at length that's unannounced, which that might be it. I can't imagine that they would have a lot to talk about it though. I mean, you're making Mario levels with different palettes from different Mario games. What more can you say other than like, oh, you can share it with people? Dates for Smash Brothers. I think that's going to be a thing that will be announced, hopefully, and they'll probably be delayed before that date ever comes to fruition. Obviously, they're going to talk about the new Pokemon and show that off. It's looking like from leaks that the new Pokemon might actually be like a similar game to the originals, but maybe like a different story, because I know there's been talk of like one of the characters researching megas the whole time, and there is new mega evolutions that have been leaked for the game. And of course everyone's like betting on a new Zelda game being announced for the Wii U, which seems like something that they have to do at this point since Nintendo is not doing well financially. It seems to be a given. If anything, it's going to be like a CG trailer. I don't think it's going to be out this year by any means. And Majora's Mask 3DS is something a lot of people are clamoring for. I see no reason for them to not do it. It would be easy money. It would fill a gap if they brought it out this year. And it wouldn't like cost much for them to do, since they already have, you know, Ocarina of Time running and it's the same engine on 3DS. My other prediction, no Metroid. I think they've pretty much given up on Metroid. I mean, there's so many Metroid clones out there, why bother, right? I mean, that's kind of how I feel about it. Otherwise, that's really all my predictions for the big three. Ubisoft is obviously going to show off their 2 Assassin's Creed. And, you know, EA is going to show off Battlefield. Maybe like Peggle 2 download content, which there has been some release, but they might do like an expansion. Obviously, they're going to announce it for like other things other than Xbox One. There might be Titanfall for other consoles. There might do like a definitive edition or director's cut or some crap like that, or it might have just been like a short exclusivity. But there's been rumblings going around that somehow Titanfall is getting on PS4 at the very least. I wouldn't be surprised. Financially, it makes sense for EA if they had to like buy out Microsoft's exclusivity or whatever. Destiny's gonna have a big showing. I think they're gonna give like direct dates and things for the beta, but if you guys have seen the leaked alpha footage, it's not that impressive. It kind of looks like if like Halo and Borderlands 2 had a love child with an MMO and all the bullshit that comes with MMO, so I don't know how I feel about it. I think maybe Bungie's gotten a little bit too big and went under a publisher that is not going to let them have like creative freedom so much. So, oh yeah, Mirror's Edge. That is a good point, the Dr. Shy. They, you know, showed that Mirror's Edge CG trailer tease last year, so hopefully they show something. I haven't seen anyone even bring that up. So that's a good point. I would like to see some more Mirror's Edge. The first one had a good concept. It just wasn't a great game, in my opinion. But it definitely did something different, so that was nice. Let's see. Rock Band, Guitar Hero, Skate 4. I doubt that the first two are going to happen because I think music games are basically dead. Sony might show like the what was it? Didn't like Harmonix or something have like a move sculpting game? Or no, that was the Little Big Planet people. Maybe they'll show that because that did involve like music, at least in the thing that they showed last year that they haven't said anything about since then. Yeah, I'm sure Fortnite will be shown. I doubt that Valve will announce anything mind-blowing.
Half-Life 3!
Yeah. Gabe Newell's is going to roll out on stage and just like a big blob and be like, you know what? Half-Life 3, ooh yeah, exclusive. And then everyone's heads explode. They might have some chit-chat about Steam machines or something, but I don't really expect a major showing from anyone. I don't expect very many surprises this year, except for maybe out of Nintendo. It's going to be, you know, like Microsoft's basically like let everything leak, it seems like. At this point, Sony's been pretty good about being tight-lipped, but I just feel like, and if you look at the release schedule, there's like nothing between now and October is like cram-packed. I think October and November are just going to be the most like release-filled months we've seen in a long time, in a bad way. Like, if you remember when the Wii U came out, it was just like, here, have 25 fucking games on day one, and then nothing, basically, for a year. I feel like we're getting back to that point. I feel like we're just going to have a big shitload of games in October, and then from, like, January to E3, we're not going to have anything, except for whatever got delayed. Fallout 4, don't think it's going to happen. Don't think it's going to be announced. It could be. The other thing that people really want that's not going to happen, they've already said Final Fantasy whatever and Kingdom Hearts 3 not going to be shown. Skyrim 2, doubtful. I doubt they would make a sequel for that. They've never really made like a sequel. I think that's what we're going to see is a lot of ports. So HD ports to like Xbox and PS4 because, you know, it's already running on PC architecture and these are x86 or x64 or whatever the hell architecture. So it's not going to be surprising to see like HD ports to them because, you know, console users don't have anything that runs technically in 1080p for the most part last gen. So it's going to be like nickel and diming easy ports is what we're going to see a lot of. Yeah, Lords of the Fallen looks blah. The new like Lord of the Rings game also looks blah. Looks like everyone's trying to get a piece of that pie. Another game I've seen like rumored is like it keeps going around being called Castlevania Souls, as in like a Dark Souls type Castlevania game, which would be interesting. A lot of people also think that there's going to be Resident Evil. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Resident Evil's going to have a showing. I don't know, though. Is their cash cow, and even though 6 was, like, hated by most critics, it sold. And that's all that matters, so maybe. They've already, like, shown the new COD, though, so it's like, what is it called? Advanced Warfighter or whatever? It's not going to be anything surprising. They might announce the one coming after that for next year, but I don't know. It would seem strange. But maybe they do that. I don't know. Who knows? I didn't really have any guesses for things coming to 3DS other than Majora's Mask. Maybe there's going to be like another Kirby, another Animal Crossing, maybe. There's just not a lot of 3DS stuff that I can think of. You guys think we'll see another Mega Man?
Never.
Maybe Nintendo pulls out a Punch-Out game? I mean, most of the characters they're using now in Smash seem to have titles that have come out recently, so people do want to see like F-Zero game. I wouldn't mind seeing F-Zero. Wouldn't mind seeing another Punch-Out. But yeah, portables, I don't think are going to have a big showing. I think Nintendo's ramping up to another portable next year. I don't think this year is going to be the year they announce it, but... And I don't think Metroid's happening. I think they've given up most hope on Metroid, but we'll see.
Don't know why, because the indie scene's filled with Metroid clones.
Right. So what do you guys think, chat? Any questions? Let's see, somebody says PC's access Sony or multi-platform fighting game. I don't think there's going to be a Sony one. The multi-platform fighting game, well, Mortal Kombat's obviously going to be shown, Mortal Kombat X. And I was like jokingly talking today about it, like, oh, maybe they'll do like Mortal Kombat X, and then when they show it at E3, they'll fill in the rest of it. It's not Mortal Kombat X as in 10, Mortal Kombat X Injustice, or something like that. Since they've had other games that are like, what was it, Tekken X Street Fighter? Or they could pull, like, you know, play that CG trailer and then suddenly, like, Ryu or Ken show up from Street Fighter, and that would blow people's minds. I don't think that's going to happen, but that would be awesome. Like, it's what people have always wanted. Like, it's always happened. You know, Hardline's going to be shown, but we've already seen, like, most everything interesting about it from leaks. Like, there's been so many leaks of things that can happen.
Strategic leaks.
And the new Halo, I've already mentioned a bit earlier in the stream. Doom 4, yeah, that's something that has to be shown, in my opinion. Like, after Wolfenstein has had a great showing and they had the Doom beta included with it, I think that they're going to show something, give some release dates, hopefully. Obviously, there's like the known things they're going to show, like they might show some Kingdom Hearts 2.5 remix, Batman Arkham Knight, we all know about that. Sports games, EA is always going to show their sports games. Borderlands a pre-sequel, I don't really care about that, but they're going to show that, obviously.
Division, yeah.
Ubisoft The Division gameplay with graphics nerf. That seems to be Ubisoft's going rate recently, is, hey, we announced the game and graphics nerf. Apparently there's going to be a SingStar on PS4, I guess. That's a thing that's happening, so, you know, for all you karaoke fans that love SingStar, it is a thing that is happening. There's like a trailer up for it on the PlayStation's YouTube that I'm watching right now. Or wait, maybe it's a SingStar Mobile. I thought it was PS4, but the dude was singing into his phone that had a microphone on it. That must be what it is. That's weird. Whatever, Sony. I guess that's the thing that's happening. Let's see, what else? Anything interesting that I have to talk about? The Order 1886, they'll show more of that. Sony will.
Oh, that looked boring as hell.
Yeah, it just looks like a cinematic third-person shooter, similar to like Gears. The Evil Within, hopefully, will be shown with like a redone thought to it, because if you look at a lot of what game journalists said about it at PAX East, they had like a closed behind doors demo, and I guess they showed like guns and things that were almost ripped directly from Resident Evil 6, like a grenade gun that froze enemies, which does not sound fun. It sounds actiony, it sounds bullshitty. Dun dun dun, what else do they have to show? Yeah, I doubt they'll talk about the Kinect PC support. I think they're going to rely on just developers to make things for it, like their own little homebrew things or whatever, and release it. What else? What else? I don't know. Hopefully some awesome surprises. I'm pretty tired of knowing everything. I want some meat. I want some meaty, juicy stuff. So, anyone have questions, or should I end this E3 stream and then stream some video games for a little bit? By the way, before I forget, tomorrow, aka today, in like 9 hours, I'm going to be streaming the first conference, which is Microsoft. Then 3 hours later, we got Sony. I believe, or not Sony. 3 hours later, we have Ubisoft. 3 hours after that, I think it's we have EA, Ubisoft, Nintendo, and Sony tomorrow. So we have all the big three, and then the two big publishers have their streams as well. We're gonna try to stream all of those and give our reactions live. You guys can come and chat with us. We're gonna stream it, try to stream it here, and also stream it to YouTube simultaneously. That way we can get it up right away. But yeah, that's the thing that's happening. So I don't see any questions coming in chat. So if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna stop the stream, and we're gonna stream some Hearthstone after this. So if you're watching this live back on YouTube, follow me at twitch.tv/Jed05 so you can chat live like the people you see over there somewhere in one of these directions. And we can have chats like this when I play the video games. And if you're watching me on stream, thanks a lot. And I'll be right back. So hang around.